You can't do this! No, no!
The power to metamorph into your body.
You could never control the mind and body of the Prince of All Saiyans!
This is my high-speed MSP, completely destroyed. This is a torque MSP shell, perfect condition for the most part. So just trying to transfer everything over to here.
Oh my gosh, I love this wheel. High-speed MSP is back on top of the road. So I just wanted to say real quick, guys, I'm watching a comment from AT Thukora. He says, "Oh no, the king, high-speed MSP is dead. A tremendous sacrifice for the betterment of all. It gave us some great vids. Thank you, Sifu of Yuk." I really appreciate that, but I want you to understand, the intent is never to kill the wheel. It's just unfortunate that, you know, this happened. Fortunately, the wheel wasn't dead per se. The shell is dead, so I got rid of it. But it was more of me trying to compare the Litec new battery, like I said earlier, with the old batteries. So I was a little bit too ambitious. I couldn't believe that this battery I had for all this time was such a low performance battery compared to the new Litec. I couldn't believe how different they were. And so I wanted to give it a little bit more because the temperature was a little bit higher, 61 degrees compared to 41 degrees with the Litec. And the Litec performed fantastic. Again, brand new battery, better performance. So as far as discharge rate, E-Will said it's the same, so I don't think that was the issue. But I'm glad I'm not using those batteries anymore. They're pretty bad. So let me show you guys what happened and enjoy the video. Wow, guys. Well, look what happened. I just literally cut out right now. Why? Well, I was trying to push it like I did the Litec.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Yo, bro, you scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Yo, that's it. Say,
I know. I know.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
You're
Thank
right,
you.
brother. You're
Yeah, I
right.
appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. I'm good, thank you. Yeah, but man.
Yo, you got that piece on there?
Yeah,
There's probably no piece over there. I don't help you.
I think that's it. Yeah. But yeah, wow. Damn. Yo. See, I always ride within the limits of the wheel, but damn, after experiencing that Litec, I was trying to push it a little bit more based on how I felt the Litec allowed me to push, but oh man. And I couldn't pull back either. Like, I wanted to pull back, but I was already committed. Way too committed. And this is 61 degrees. It's 61 degrees Fahrenheit, dude. What the hell? Oh, man. So I need a new shell. Ah, well. I'll figure this out. Yeah, that's my experience. I just got out. I just got a little scratch here. Other than that, I'm good. I wore the right helmet. Damn. Disappointing. Disappointing. Battery matters, man. Battery matters. Yep, so I'm riding right now with my destroyed MSP. Sucks. But I got no lights. After experiencing that Litec, I got bit by the bug. By the Litec bug. Holy smokes. Alright guys, so here we have the EUC World tours for both the new battery and the old battery. So on this side we have the new battery, the Litec,
And on this side, we have the old battery, the LG packs from Begode. So what we're going to look at here is basically the wheel statistics. And I definitely recommend you guys download EUC World if you haven't used it yet. If you're not aware, it's probably the best app for EUCs out there. And it's only for Android as far as I'm aware. Anyway, it's a little small, but that's the only way I can do it right now. It says that the maximum current draw is 85.8 amps on the new battery, and the maximum power draw was 7,580 max on the new battery. On the old, it's 89.3 and 7,551 max. So that's interesting. It looks like that's not a problem. So obviously pushing both batteries was not a big deal at the time. I think the main difference here is that the cutout happened on a slight hill. So that definitely added to the safety margin issue of me cutting out at 8%, because I've never cut out at 8% before. But the hill definitely made a difference. So that was a huge factor, actually, if you think about it. But if we keep going down, we will see that the safety margin on the new battery was, the minimum was 6%, and the minimum on the Begode battery was 7%. Okay, so pretty much good stuff so far. So far, so good. But if we go all the way down and we take a look at the safety margin chart here, which is basically what I'm interested in. The reason I look at the safety margin chart, and this right here is the safety margin chart, guys. Okay, let me see if I zoom in, if you guys could see it better. Okay, so this right here is the safety margin chart, okay? And the reason I like looking at the safety margin chart is because it gives you pretty much everything you need to know in a snapshot. What you see on this side is that, well, first of all, I rode more miles with this battery than this one. This one, I pretty much rode slowly to Home Depot, and I started pushing it once I got to the parking lot. And here, you can see my excitement got the best of me, because I pretty much pushed this battery all the way to Home Depot, and I pretty much took it slow back home. But if you look from here to here, you will see that there's a lot of red going on, or yellow, orange, and then red. And this, in case you don't know what safety margin is, this is pretty much telling you how dangerously low you are, or close you are to cutting out, and dangerously low you are in terms of battery. Okay, so if you're at 100% battery, you can actually reach a low safety margin. My battery here was 89.3 volts. Now understand, this was 89.3 volts under load, under extreme load. So you can imagine, you know, my battery was probably around 95 volts, probably, okay? Once I let off the gas or the electric. But anyway, what you're looking at here is that I was able to really push this wheel hard for a very long period in various scenarios. And you can tell that these are various scenarios, because if you're looking right here, you'll see that from 500 watts, I'm pushing it. This is literally, let me see, is it 500? Yeah, so that's not bad. That's 706 watts, and I'm pushing it. That's wild. How is this possible? So what you're looking at here is that this is not a red mark. This is a yellow mark, which means even though the safety margin it appears low, it's not really low. It's still at 60, let's see, so safety margin was about 13% in this first instance of me pushing it hard, and top speed was 41.9 miles an hour. So again, in case you guys don't understand, you can push a wheel to 41.9 miles an hour, or the top speed, or near the top speed, one of two ways. One, you could gradually get there, which will definitely reduce your safety margin, or should I say increase your safety margin, and that way you won't have to worry about, you know, cutting out at all. And then there's the other way of getting there, which is hard acceleration. And this is what I was testing with the Litec, and the Litec was able to get there, no issues, with no letdown, no let up at all from the battery. Over here, we're looking at hard acceleration. This is 42.4 miles an hour, and the safety margin reached here is 8%. It seems low, but if your battery is good and it has a really good discharge, this is not low at all. This is actually, it's low, but it's still safe because you have a really good battery. You know what I mean? I'm pulling 3,800 watts over here, so that's not significant at all in terms of worrying about a cutout. Now, if we go over here, this is the deepest of all. This is where I pushed the hardest, and it's still at 8% safety margin. The battery is at 59%, which is very good. Rule of thumb for me is if you're above 50% battery under load, and under load means while you're riding, okay? So if you're anywhere above 50% under load, you can push the wheel as hard as you want, provided your battery is in good condition. Okay, provided your battery is in good condition and it has a really good significant discharge rate. If you have a basic battery that's under, I don't know, I'm not even sure what the discharge rate is of this one, but I know for sure that it was better compared to this one because I cut out. And how did I cut out? Let's see. So I cut out here. So let's see if this is where I cut out. Yep. So this is where I cut out on the old 2+ years battery. That is the old Begode LG packs. So I'm at 43% battery. I've already broken my rule. Okay, I broke my rule at 43% under load. That's terrible. Now, 8% safety margin, 33.7 miles an hour. Now, like I said, the difference is, now, what's interesting, there's two interesting things to notice here. The first is the watts. I'm pulling 4,800 watts. I can actually go much higher than that. But here's a condition. The condition is that this is an old battery. So 4,800 watts climbing a hill. These are two conditions now, two instances or two scenarios where you should not, actually I have three scenarios where you should not be putting yourself in this situation. Number one, your battery is old. Number two, you're pulling way too much watts on a hill at 43% battery under load. So that's pretty much terrible in terms of trying to get the best performance out of your wheel and expecting it to perform. So this was an oversight on my part because, again, I had just come from experiencing the amazing prowess that is the brand new Litex, and I just wanted to see if I could get the best I could out of these old batteries because I have been riding them for a very long time, and I was very gradual with them. I definitely experienced the weakness and I experienced the inferior nature of the old batteries a while back. This was not my first experience with these old batteries, but what I had contributed the low performance of those batteries to is that I had said to myself, maybe that, you know, it's the high speed MSP, so therefore you can't expect high acceleration because it's geared for high speed. Now, mind you, I believe it's a 2,000 watt motor. Okay, compared to wheels of today, this is old. You know what I mean? Like 2,000 watts. Are you serious? But it doesn't change the fact that for its time when it came out, it was still a high performance wheel. Just because, you know, it's many years in the future doesn't mean it's not high performance. It's still high performance. It's just not nowhere comparable to the new wheels. But I always contributed the inferior nature of the old batteries to the fact that it was just a high speed wheel and not a torque wheel, because my torque MSP did not have this issue at all. My torque MSP is geared, it's 2,500 watts. So, you know, it had all the acceleration I needed, just no top speed that I needed. So, but now when eWheel sent me this brand new battery and I'm seeing this amazing performance right out of the box by just slapping those batteries on, I was literally ecstatic. All right, so in the end, what I learned is that, you know, riding a wheel for a significant amount of time will, if you're paying attention, you can actually learn your wheel just by riding it. Okay. You can feel how the motor is grinding. you can find that the harder you push, the less power the wheel is giving you because of the feedback from both the motor and the street. There's a lot of things you can feel if you're paying attention, but if you're not paying attention, obviously. So what happened to me, in my case, and I'll close this, what happened to me is I was riding over here in the park, the Home Depot area. So I was still at 47%. Again, I broke my rule. My rule of thumb is, above 50% under load, and you can, push as hard as you want. And for the most part, even if you're at a low safety margin, you should be able to get away with it. But again, I was on a hill that's terrible, and I'm at 47%. So it ended up bad for me. But here's the thing, though. While I was going up the hill, while I was at Home Depot on flat surface, I did feel the dip, but it wasn't a Gotway dip that you would expect when you reach the maximum potential of the motor. It was a gradual feel where you could feel the battery drain. You literally could. And then when you let off, the battery slowly comes back. And I know it's the battery because the motor has a ton more potential. So what I did was I just said, listen, I didn't have enough space. I want to go on the road and I really want to experience this. So I was a little bit eager. And right here is where I just lost sight of what I was trying to do. There was an incline, and that incline did me in. So definitely enjoy your wheels, but pay attention to your battery, pay attention to your performance via the EUC World app. And you can compare. You can compare to a lot of things: temperature, flat surface, type of battery, discharge rate, etc., etc. So my riding style is a lot of torquing. So I love to torque the wheel. I like to really go at it. And it was just unfortunate that I had made a wrong assumption with my wheel. All these years that I've had it, I just assumed that it was a high-speed MSP. There's no torque. It's true, there is no torque, but if you don't have adequate batteries, then your assessment is going to be way off. So once again, a lot of torquing over here with low safety margins, never crashing. Okay, battery under load 62%, battery under load 67%, and that's hard riding. Over here, 38%. You see, 45%. So that's not bad. But again, it's flat. It's flat. It was flat surface. Yeah. So hopefully that helps you guys understand, battery performance versus what type of motor you got, and terrain. In case you wonder. All right, guys. So here we are, back home. It's on because apparently when it crashed, I guess the power button, the power cable, the wire for the power got disconnected somehow, so I can't turn it off. Yeah, can't turn it off. So I have to open it up, disconnect it. Yeah. Let's get to it. I have a lot of work to do. So the batteries are very hot to the touch. Very hot. Well, makes sense. I just used it. Wow. I never really opened the wheel to check the battery condition immediately after pushing it hard. But it's hot right now. Very hot. Oh, this is why the light's not on. Okay, so yeah, everything has to be soldered back on. Yeah, I need to get this back together. So what happened to me? Well, I have this right here, this road rash. This, it's not crazy, but that's a road rash. This right here from my shirt. A little scrape on my knee pads. Good thing I had that. Scrape on my knee pads. Back. Pants destroyed. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and here. Right here. As for my helmet, nothing My helmet did not touch the ground, so I don't know. That usually happens. I don't know why my helmet never touches the ground, but it didn't. That's typically the case. I think I've fallen several times in my riding career, in my riding life, and I don't know how many times, but I don't think I've ever fallen with this helmet. Let's see. I don't see anything on here. But yeah, typically I don't hit my helmet. Anyway, I got work to do, guys. I might have to salvage some parts from this wheel because I don't use that wheel at all. Yeah, I may have to do that. So let's see what we do. See what we come out with. Okay, so it's the next day. Came from work. Now what I'm trying to do is swap this into this.
You can't do this! No, no!
The power to metamorph into your body.
You could never control the mind and body of the Prince of All Saiyans!
This is my high-speed MSP, completely destroyed. This is a torque MSP shell, perfect condition for the most part. So just trying to transfer everything over to here. So just for clarity, in case anyone wants to do this, the MSP shell is exactly the same as the high-speed shell. The battery is pretty much the same. The only difference is the board and the motor. I can't mix and match boards and motors. I have to completely remove the board from the torque, completely remove the motor, and then take all this stuff, meaning the board and the motor from the high-speed MSP, and put it in the torque MSP shell. The harness might be a little shorter because the torque MSP board is a little bit different, but all the connections are pretty much the same. So one of the things I love about the MSP setup is that the board is connected or attached to a heatsink, and there is a fan inside, this fan right here, but this heatsink is exposed to the exterior. So while you're riding, it's constantly being exposed to the wind, the air. So that's awesome. I'm not sure why they didn't, implement this with the EXN, because this is such a great idea. So not a lot of overheating going on with the high speed, but you can definitely overheat it if you try. So it's not a foolproof solution. All right, so here we are. It took a little while to make sure everything's okay, but we're good to go. Here's the crashed unit. Everything's destroyed. I'm sure it could have been fixed, but I don't have time. All done. That's all I have to say for now. I can't wait to ride it. I did ride it earlier, but I didn't really push it, so I can't wait to experience that. And I have a brand new wheel. It's over here, brand new. I wouldn't say brand new, but brand new setup. And we're good to go. We're good to go all over again. So high-speed MSP, dude, everything broke. Like this broke. I couldn't turn off the wheel because the power button, button's cable was disconnected, so I took off the side panel from the high-speed MSP and put it on here because I didn't want to change, my setup for my pads. So literally it was just a plug and play. Just take everything off, put it on. The only difficulty or the only issue was the harness. The harness was a little shorter on the MSP.
because of how the boards were designed. So it looks a little bit messier inside, but nothing crazy. Either way, that's it for now. Just, you know, a word of caution to people who have older wheels and been riding it hard for several years, 2+ years, you might want to, you know, back it off a little bit or change your battery. I don't know, but definitely going on. I think these batteries would have lasted a lot longer, and it's fine. It's there. I sent one to eWheels. I'll send the other one. Hopefully he'll send me another 2. So, but yeah, that's what happened, guys. I'll keep you posted. Any suggestions, any experience that any of you guys have had that's similar to mine, definitely add it in the comments so a lot of people can learn. Brand new wheel, high-speed MSP, back on the road. Happy riding, guys. See you later. Here's the wheel. Here's what it looks like. It's like nothing ever happened. Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic? Yes, it is. It's fantastic. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? There you go. Anyway, that's what it looks like. Yay. Oh my goodness. This is it. The old king is back. Oh, nice. Acceleration is good. Could be better if I had the Litec. Oh my gosh, I love this wheel. High-speed MSP is back on top of the road. All right, guys, it was a pleasure. I hope you got a lot of good information from the stats that I shared with you guys, and try not to cut out. See you guys.